A tense situation at the Calgary airport yesterday. NORAD scrambled fighter jets after threats were made that there were bombs aboard flights arriving from Germany. Canadian CF-18 and American CF-15 fighter jets, along with supporting and refueling aircraft, responded. It turned out the threats were not credible and no one was at risk. The Condor Airlines jets landed safely and passengers got off on the tarmac. The all clear was given last night, and so far no one has been charged. Here's what else is making news tonight. Inflation on the rise.
The Canadian economy is also teetering on a recession. We had a really negative reading for growth in the second quarter of the year.
What will this mean for the latest interest rate announcement from the Bank of Canada? Plus, labor conflict.
Very focused on getting a fair contract.
Some workers demonstrate while teachers and the province remain at odds. And climbing Kilimanjaro.
Absolutely. I think it's going to be extremely exhilarating, assuming I have any breath left to spare.
The blind Calgarian who's getting ready for a major challenge.
CTV Calgary, local breaking news. With Tara Nelson. Reporting tonight, Ian White.
Good evening and thank you for joining us. We begin with breaking news in the Southwest. Police are on the scene of a collision involving a young cyclist. The cyclist was hit just off of Bow Trail at 40th Street Southwest. The victim was rushed to hospital with potentially life-altering injuries. It's not clear how it happened or whether anyone was charged. Police are blocking traffic in the area while they investigate. It's only up slightly, but Canada's inflation rate is forcing everyone to make their dollars stretch further. There was a smaller than expected decrease in gas prices last month, and grocery prices are up. It appears everything is that much more expensive. Economists warn Canada's economy is on the brink of recession. Tyson Fedor reports.
Calgary shoppers are trying to put food on the table with a budget.
It's extremely expensive.
Swanson pies, we used to pay about $1.50 for them. At Walmart, they went up to $2.78. I mean, if you do the math.
Canada's inflation rate was up 1.9% in August. In Alberta, that number was lower at 1.4%.
The Canadian economy is also teetering on a recession. We had a really negative reading for growth in the second quarter of the year, and it looks like the third quarter is going to be at best flat.
Consumers are facing the biggest sticker shock when it comes to meat.
If you got a big family, it's really hard to just stock up.
What we're getting is a bit of a hangover from dry weather a few years ago.
Sam Gundy of Ribeye Butcher Shop says when barbecue season started, the loin cuts of beef were up nearly 20 to 30%. And Stats Can says meat was up 7.2% just last month.
It's the ends of the animal that are getting more expensive, which is I haven't seen this before. I've been doing this for 23 years.
Gundy says although consumers lean heavily on ribeyes and strip loins, there are other more affordable cuts of beef.
Think flat iron, think flank, think hanger, think skirts. These are the cuts that we take home. They're 1/3 to half the price of the traditional loin cuts.
Latest data says beef was up 11.4%, ham and bacon up 11.9%, while pork, chicken, and processed meats saw increases half that. And these prices won't be coming down anytime soon.
We're not talking that by Christmas beef prices will be coming down. We're talking a period of a few years before we see some softening of the beef price.
Gas prices also increased nationally by about 1.4%, with economists pointing to summer driving habits. But the outlook for Alberta's economy is quite bleak.
We are the least impacted compared to the other provinces, but we're still seeing it. With the first quarter update, it looks even worse, unfortunately, than what we had projected when the budget first came out.
And Tyson is live outside the Ribeye Butcher Shop in Mahogany. And Tyson, prices are up for consumers for the most part, but is there any good news on prices coming down?
Well, Ian, despite the prices at some meat shops, some grocery stores, there is a bit of good news. That comes to fresh fruits. Those prices are coming down from last month. So apples and watermelons, those prices are coming down at the grocery store, and that's due to harvest season and those items being sold. Now, this also comes as tomorrow will also be the day the Bank of Canada will is expected rather to drop its key interest rate by 0.25 percentage points. So that, of course, is to help with stabilizing the economy and controlling further inflation. Ian?
Thank you, Tyson. Sobeys has locked out the union in charge of distribution in the Calgary area, and shoppers could see grocery shortages on shelves starting tomorrow. Yesterday, workers at the Balzac Distribution Centre were served a 72-hour lockout notice. The union said to protect its members, it gave strike notice to Sobeys. The Teamsters Local 987 voted in favor of strike action last week. They want more competitive wages and other changes to their collective agreement. The lockout could impact major grocers and convenience stores throughout central and southern Alberta. The province is in two separate labor disputes right now, with teachers and with some healthcare workers. Both unions are fighting for higher wages and better working environments. Jacqueline Wilson has the latest.
Rally cheers fill the air outside of the Peter Lougheed Emergency Department as healthcare workers and union members draw attention to their plight for a new collective agreement with the province.
Our membership is very strong, very focused on getting a fair contract that respects the wages that our members need to see to actually live in this province and work in this province.
The union represents some 15,000 Calgary nursing care and support workers employed by Alberta Health Services. They're fighting for improved wages and benefits, along with safe staffing levels and manageable workloads.
It's really hard to give your full attention to the work you do when you feel like you actually don't even have a home to live in. You're living out of your car, you're sleeping on somebody's couch, you're utilizing the food bank.
The union says formal mediation for support workers started Tuesday, while nursing care is still bargaining with the employer. They've applied for formal mediation. It's happening at the same time the province is trying to come to an agreement with teachers, with the province filing a labor dispute complaint connected with a document the Alberta Teachers Association distributed, saying it consists of false claims.
The government is deliberately trying to sabotage bargaining. They had the ATA counter proposal in hand, and instead of responding to that, they've chosen to walk away while attempting to undermine the association and its leadership.
So to try to imply somehow that we're not interested or don't have a mandate to address class size issues is simply not true. And so that's what I'm saying. If he's going to say untrue things, we're going to call him out. So he should stop it.
The Alberta Teachers Union has set a strike date of October 6th, but the province has the ability to lock them out before then. Jacqueline Wilson, CTV News, Calgary.
And if a strike happens October 6th, it will affect over 200,000 students and 12,000 teachers in Calgary alone. Changes are coming to Alberta's long-running industrial carbon tax system. Alberta's premier says the new rules will help better balance the environment with the economy. Let's bring in Tim Brook to break down those changes for us. And Tim, the province says the idea here is to create more competition in the market.
Yes, Ian, and that'll happen by essentially allowing Alberta's big emitters a little bit more freedom and flexibility under our industrial carbon tax. Now, currently, as many of our viewers know, we run under the TIER program, which forces those emitters to buy credits or pay into a fund if they go over the province's carbon limit. Today's changes mean those companies can now instead invest that penalty money into their own emissions reduction technology. Now, some worry these new rules will discourage or slow down the environmental work, but our premier argues it'll instead allow big emitters a chance to innovate.
What we're announcing will allow businesses to invest directly into technology through TIER, choosing the on-site technologies that will work best for them. We're looking at it a little like a recycling program. The dollars that the companies pay into TIER will be recycled into investments that will reduce their own emissions on their own sites.
Now, other changes will allow smaller emitters who are part of TIER to actually opt out of the program next year. The province says it hopes that those savings will be reinvested into things like emissions reduction and other operational improvements.
Tim, thanks very much. Calgary's contentious climate emergency declaration will stick around for now. An effort to end the action failed at City Council today. Jordan Canigan has more from City Hall. And Jordan, this was one of the first issues Council passed years ago.
Ian, it was, and the climate emergency has been a topic of debate ever since this council passed it 4 years ago. And the move to try to end it failed today in what is one of the final council meetings of this term. Now, what was voted down today was a motion to end the climate emergency declaration and also audit all of the city's climate-related spending. 4 councillors who are part of Communities First put forth the motion: Sonia Sharp, Andre Chabot, Dan McLean, and Terry Wong. But Wong voted against rescinding the climate emergency. Officials say the city has spent about $200 million on climate projects and programs, but it's also received $287 million in funding from the federal and provincial governments for climate mitigation work.
So this was not a rejection of the fact that business units need to be responsible for expenditure. This was simply stating that this notice of motion was grandstanding at best.
I know everyone's like, this is coming because of the election. This is something we've been thinking about for a while, but it did reaffirm today that most of this work about resiliency and building a resilient city and managing, emergencies and what that looks like comes from what we had in our Resilient Calgary strategy.
Now, another item that was notable that council debated on and voted on today was whether the city should provide some type of site for people who currently live in their RVs on public streets. Council voted to no longer look into that project and explore that project, with officials saying it's far too costly and it's also something that very few people would use. Now, council's very last full meeting of this term will be tomorrow. We'll be getting a preview of the next budget. Ian?
Jordan, thanks very much. Danielle joins us now. You know, the fall colors are starting to come out. It looks really beautiful out there. But despite fall coming closer, we're still getting those summer temperatures.
Yep, fall officially begins on Monday, Ian, and we'll still be in the 20s by then. So this is some warmth that's really kicked in. It's here to stay and mainly stable as well. So we have a lot of sunshine even in that longer range forecast. Okay, so at this point, it's 24 degrees at the airport. It's a little breezy, winds around 19 kilometers per hour, and a whole lot of blue sky out there. And the same thing for tomorrow. In the morning, keep in mind, it is that time of year where we have overnight lows in those single digits, so it's a bit of a cool start to the day, 12 degrees at 8 a.m., but in the afternoon, a high of 26. More details just ahead, Ian.
Thank you, Danielle. Residents of one Calgary neighborhood are launching a petition. Still ahead, why they say the city's neglect to deal with weeds is costing them, especially dog owners. And some groundbreaking neurosurgery research here in Calgary, how it's already changed a local woman's life. An outbreak of salmonella infections has been linked to dog food and treats. People are getting sick through contact with the food or their pets. Of the 27 illnesses recorded across the country, the hotspot is in Alberta, which has 13 confirmed cases. A single common supplier of dog food or treats has not been identified. Those who got sick reported handling kibble or dehydrated and freeze-dried dog treats. Health Canada is reminding people to always wash your hands thoroughly after handling dog food or petting your dog. Some residents in the northwest community of Nolan Hill are raising concern over the city's maintenance work of public spaces. They say foxtails and other unwanted weeds have become a part of everyday life, along with other nuisances they want the city to tackle. Tyler Barrow has more.
Out dog walking in Nolan Hill is no walk in the park, according to resident Tanya Sarin.
It feels like we've been not acknowledged at all.
One issue, foxtails, which cost Sarin $600 at the vet after her dog Luna sniffed one a little too closely.
Once a dog gets a foxtail slipped into their nose, it's almost impossible, and it's very irritating for the dog.
Sarin is just one of the many voicing her concern as residents in the area feel the northern neighborhood has been neglected.
We want to get attention for us, for our neighborhood. We expect the city will come and do the proper job for our neighborhood.
After multiple complaints went unanswered, Kotick launched a petition calling on the city to step up maintenance efforts in the area. Over 250 signatures have been registered. Residents are growing frustrated over unwanted weeds not being looked after, grass clippings left behind, and litter scattered on city area.
The city just does not maintain our green spaces.
We raise our voice again and again and again like no one is listening.
Frustrations are now reaching City Hall as the area's councillors say more needs to be done to address the issue, especially closing in on a new budget.
We have to really look at what are the standards we expect. It breaks down to we're going to have to inject more money into the budget for the services Calgarians are asking for.
Nolan Hill residents are scheduled to meet with Parks representatives on September 20th. Tyler Barrow, CTV News, Calgary.
This is CTV News, Calgary.
Danielle, I have no complaints whatsoever about this weather. It's just delightful.
It is delightful, and it's summer weather for a long stretch here. We have a ridge of high pressure that's building in. It's really going to be in place for at least the work week, and we're going to hold on to these warmer temperatures even in through much of the first week of fall, which officially begins on Monday. Okay, talking temperatures now. 24 degrees in the city at the moment, so that's our daytime high today. Yesterday's daytime high in the city was 20. Today, 24. Tomorrow, 26. So temperatures are climbing a little each day thanks to this ridge building in and strengthening. Medicine Hat was at 27 yesterday, at 25 for today. But overall, we're mainly in those mid-20s and in some cases lower 20s. Lethbridge, for example, at 23 at the moment. Okay, radar and satellite. Yeah, nothing to talk about. It's stable, it's nice, whole lot of sunshine that continues for tomorrow as well. But this weather pattern will start to shift off as we get into Friday. So here's the ridge of high pressure strengthening tomorrow. And then by the time we get into Friday, we're going to lose this ridge for a little bit. And that's going to allow some instability to move in. So Friday, we have the chance of showers, maybe some thunderstorm activity, non-severe. This is how it looks on the futurecast. So again, the rest of today, tomorrow, very stable, all sunshine for tomorrow. And then there's this little system that's going to develop in southern Alberta, so on our side of the Rockies, as we lose that ridge of high pressure on Friday. So even in the morning hours, we have the potential for some showers, and then later in the day, showers and even some thunderstorm activity is possible. That's Friday, though. So, and Friday will still be actually quite toasty. 26 degrees for tomorrow, all sunshine. We'll notice some cloud cover moving in on Thursday ahead of the system that starts on Friday. So that's why we won't get quite as warm on Thursday, 24 degrees. 24 on Friday as well. There may be some sunny breaks, also some cloud cover, and the chance of showers and thunderstorm activity. Then we bounce back to 26 for Saturday, 21 with a late day thunderstorm possible on Sunday. That's your action furnace 5-day forecast. And we look at the 10-day trend just to show you as we get into this first week of fall. So again, this week we're in those mid-20s for much of it except for Sunday. And then next week we're in the low 20s, so 23 degrees on Monday to kick off fall. And then we're looking at 23 degrees even through most of this next work week. Ian?
Thanks, Danielle. A Calgary senior says she has her life back after getting a shunt put into her brain. It's part of a major research study that's just been published in the distinguished New England Journal of Medicine. And the frontier of the research is here in Calgary. Stephanie Thomas has more.
Jill Knaus used to need a walker. She had a few falls. She eventually moved into an independent care facility.
It was like getting old before your time. I couldn't walk without shuffling. I couldn't control my body functions.
She was diagnosed with idiopathic normal pressure hydrocephalus, or INPH. It's a buildup of fluid near the brain, and there's no known cause. The 79-year-old joined a study at the University of Calgary and had surgery to insert a brain shunt. Now, that buildup of fluid is drained away into her abdomen.
My doctor told me there's 3 things I can't do. I can't play professional football. I'm not allowed to play professional hockey, and skydiving is out. Other than that, I can do whatever I feel I can do.
which includes daily walks with her dog, Lucy. Researchers are pleased with the early results.
I do all kinds of different neurosurgery. This is probably the most gratifying type of neurosurgery to do.
Of the 99 participants, half were in the control group and their shunts did not drain fluid. Their conditions did not improve. Dr. Hamilton estimates there are 130,000 Canadians dealing with INPH.
We're not addressing even a fraction of that. So I want other centers to start doing the same thing we're doing.
The procedure has been around since the 1960s, but researchers say it's been improved for cases like these. And randomized trial results published in the New England Journal of Medicine will provide doctors and patients with guidance and hope.
It's more than hope. It's a promise that it will make your life so much better.
The study was supported by the National Institutes of Health. Stephanie Thomas, CTV News, Calgary.
And the study was conducted across Canada, parts of the United States, and Sweden. A Calgarian is about to be part of a world record attempt. Just ahead, how he and others with visual impairments plan to summit Mount Kilimanjaro. And a musical surprise for a firefighter who has dealt with cancer. A Calgary man is part of a team of 11 blind and visually impaired hikers preparing to climb Mount Kilimanjaro next month. It's all part of a world record attempt to become the largest blind team ever to reach the roof of Africa. Mark Villani has more on the upcoming adventure that's putting ability ahead of disability.
What do we got? Holy man. Peter Quietini is loading up these dumbbells into his backpack, but he's not going to the gym. He's going for a hike. The blind Calgarian is training for the adventure of a lifetime, preparing to summit Mount Kilimanjaro next month.
Just because the likes of me can't see doesn't mean that I can't do things that you might not expect.
But he won't be alone. 10 other hikers from Canada and the U.S. are joining him. The group is attempting to break a world record as the largest team of visually impaired climbers to scale Africa's highest peak. It's a long way up, nearly 5,900 meters to the top as part of the Lomosho route.
That's been on my bucket list for years.
Desiree Dion is a fellow blind hiker from Lacombe. She says reaching the summit will be a dream come true.
When you see someone you don't understand, it's very easy to judge their capabilities. It's nice to be able to show people it's possible to do things in spite of differences.
And other blind climbers like Tammy Adams from Toronto say traveling as part of a team will actually heighten her senses.
You know, make sure you're lifting up your feet and you're aware of your surroundings and you're listening.
Quietini relies on bells to listen to those around him and a hiking pole to hold on to a sighted guide in front. His wife won't be making the trip to Africa, but she's taken pride in keeping him safe during training.
Communication is everything. He wants to know what he might trip over to avoid a problem. He needs to know where the trail's very narrow and he might fall off the side.
My feet just have to accommodate all the variability in the trail.
And although it's an adjustment, these hikers are determined to show what's possible.
It does send a message that we are capable.
Go for it. I mean, take the opportunity while you can.
It's going to be extremely exhilarating.
Mark Villani, CTV News, Calgary.
And the blind hikers will begin their ascent of Mount Kilimanjaro on October 1st and aim to reach the summit by October 7th. A surprise for a retired Calgary firefighter. I didn't fall in love with your hair. Country music star Brett Kissel held an intimate performance for 40 guests of the Alberta Cancer Foundation Monday night, including retired firefighter Lauren Miller. Miller is a 3-time cancer survivor, and he says the concert was a great surprise.
Super cool. He came up and introduced himself. Fantastic guy. We hit it off from my perspective. We've got a lot in common. We've got some kids that are the same age, and we have some similar hobbies that we enjoy. So it's always great to meet people like that that are willing to come out to events like this and show their support and cheer us on.
And the performance took place during the Alberta Cancer Foundation's lottery, with the final deadline set for October 7th. We all love our pets, right? Well, one Calgary man has a unique connection with his. Next, taking 2 cockatoos for a walk in the park. Why they always return. Cockatoos aren't exactly native to Calgary, far from it, really. But don't be surprised if you see a couple of them flitting around a park the next time you go out. Calgarian Enrique Esteban takes his pair of feathered friends for daily walks, letting them fly untethered in the wild. Kevin Green caught up with him this morning.
Enrique Esteban takes his cockatoos, Bandito and Corky, for walks through Calgary parks. Unlike dogs, his pets aren't on leashes. They take off into the trees, sometimes for hours before flying back to him.
The way to interact with any animal as a pet, the most beautiful and genuine way of doing it is to deal with them with as close as possible as to what they would be doing in nature.
Bandito can only fly short distances and glide because of an old wing injury acquired before being adopted by Esteban. But Corky soars above the trail. Esteban says after doing this for over 30 years, the pair of birds treat him like a member of their flock.
I feel sensitive enough to be connected with them.
We were just walking saying, we don't see any birds here anymore. And then look at it. Yeah, we look and here we are, there's birds.
The sight of the tropical birds perched on Esteban's rope, then taking flight, turns heads.
What the heck? Because I was trying to figure out what kind of a bird it was. I said, it's not a raptor. That doesn't sound local. And then I saw what was going on.
Here.
Yeah.
Esteban uses those encounters as a chance to teach people about the longevity and intelligence of cockatoos.
Never force any living creature to do what you know that is not in their intention or on their habit, because indirectly they might be telling you, no, I don't feel secure in this environment.
Esteban says he's never trained the birds, saying instead the reason the birds return to him every day is because they've trained him.
Whenever you have a pet, never humanize your pet. Instead, animalize yourself.
Kevin Green, CTV News, Calgary.
And Esteban says he originally worried the cockatoos would be attacked by other birds of prey, but says after decades of flying free, they've proven to him they're capable of eluding predators. A long-awaited Catholic high school on the west side of Calgary is another step closer to reality. Heavy equipment operators are already clearing the land. A ground blessing and sod turning ceremony was held this afternoon. The new high school will be in Aspen Woods between Weber Academy and Calgary Academy. It will have room for more than 1,200 students in grades 10 to 12 when it opens in 2028. Many parents lobbied for years for the project, while some nearby residents opposed it, concerned about extra traffic and removal of trees on the property. A group of determined women rolled up their sleeves to build a new Habitat for Humanity project in Airdrie today. The three-day event brings together women from all backgrounds, including corporate and community leaders, tradespeople, and volunteers. They're building 11 townhouses in the Bayview neighborhood. Tara Nelson and Jody Hughes are part of the crew getting it done. The goal is to build safe and affordable homes, especially for people who have been trying to keep their heads above water, given Alberta's tough housing market.
We've basically just had to suck up the rent increases, but that's meant that, we've had to sacrifice things that we've needed for our kids, or we constantly feel like we're playing catch up and pushing off important purchases until the next month.
Families moving in must put in volunteer hours on the projects. They will purchase these homes through a program which requires no down payment, no interest, and affordable monthly payments. And congratulations for Tara and Jody and Gina Martin as well for getting involved.
Great. Yeah,
great work. All right, looking for an edge? Next time you go for a run, the German brand Puma may have what you need.
I like my shoes aggressive, just as I like my running. And I think also in the development, we've gone aggressively to work.
Norwegian hurdler Karsten Warholm helped develop these unique shoes. Puma wants to improve the technology in their shoes before the 2028 Summer Olympics in Los Angeles. The company says these radical-looking runners are the fastest ever, although I just think it might take a long time to get used to those.
Yeah, do they have little rockets in them?
Well, why don't we do a race?
Yes.
3 of us, huh?
Okay.
Come on.
This is a great idea.
As long as it's only a sprint, that's all.
Okay.
No marathon
No long
involved.
distance. None of that.
Yeah, keep it short. Well, nothing could replace her late dad at her wedding, but this came close. Kristen Marino's father was a firefighter who died on 9/11. So on her wedding day, members of the New York Fire Department came to see her. Understandably, Kristen shed a few tears. She posted this on her Instagram page, and they came complete with fire trucks as well.
That's awesome. That is so good, isn't it?
Yeah, very sweet. And there's Mom as well.
Oh.
Yeah, very touching. Well, speaking of dads, this dad had one job: to arrange transportation to the airport at the end of the trip.
That's awesome.
This is what the family ended up with, the party bus.
Yeah.
His daughter says it's 4 a.m. and that's the transport Dad ended up booking.
Yeah.
This video has garnered 1.2 million likes on TikTok.
I don't see a lot of happy faces in there.
Well, look at Mom. Yeah, Mom's there on the right. Yeah, Mom
Well,
is...
it is 4 a.m.
You had
4
one
a.m.,
job
you're
to
up
do.
early.
One job.
It's hilarious, though.
Mom is having none of this nonsense.
Lots of space, music.
And she wants her first coffee of the day as well, I'm sure. Well, it feels good to grow something from scratch. It probably feels even better to give it away. Still to come, the community gardens in Airdrie that have a positive impact on the entire community.
Ooh, Skywatch weather camera. We got some summer weather for you to enjoy. Not just yesterday, not just today, not just tomorrow, but for the next week and a half. At least daytime highs will be in those low 20s, even mid-20s some days. Like today, 24 degrees are high in Calgary. Edmonton, 25 in Regina, good heat in the Prairie provinces, 27 even in Thunder Bay. And then those mid-20s, Ottawa, Toronto, Montreal, Fredericton. So overall, it's very summery in much of the country. All right, looking at closer to home here, 24. So yesterday our high was 20, today 24, tomorrow 26. So we're climbing here. 25 is the high in Medicine Hat today. Yesterday was 27. So we're still warm in that spot, just not as warm as today. And lower 20s for Lethbridge and Milk River. All right, radar and satellite, as you can see, nothing going on. And air quality, the wind is acting in our favor, so we're low risk on the Air Quality Health Index. And with the winds this work week, we will remain on the low end of this Air Quality Health Index scale. So that's some good news for us. Okay, Action Furnace, 24-hour forecast. Fixed rider, it's free. 12 degrees for the morning, that's at 8 a.m. and then 26 in the afternoon, and a whole lot of sunshine to enjoy throughout the day for tomorrow. Ian?
Thanks, Danielle. The national and provincial inflation rates are up. A spike in the price of meat, rising rents, and mortgage interest costs are the main factors behind the inflation rate jump. Healthcare workers in the Alberta Union of Provincial Employees demonstrated outside the Peter Lougheed Centre today. Contract mediation begins next week. And police say a young cyclist has potentially life-altering injuries after being struck by a vehicle on Bow Trail Southwest this afternoon. Oscar-winning actor, director, and producer Robert Redford has passed away. A matinee idol, Redford's film career got started in the 1960s, but he later reinvented himself behind the scenes, winning an Oscar for the first film he directed and establishing the Sundance Film Festival. Andrea Case reports.
There are movie stars, and then there was Charles Robert Redford Jr. Born in Santa Monica, California in 1936, his acting career began on television in 1959. He moved on to Broadway, and then came the movies. His good looks cemented his leading man status. But Redford was more than just a pretty face and turned down acting roles which he thought would stereotype him.
Well, that ought to do it. Use enough dynamite there, Butch?
Robert Redford was someone who I think wasn't always given credit for his enormous talent as an actor simply because he was too good looking. He had the Brad Pitt syndrome. The people, I think, for a while just refused to take him as seriously as he deserved to be taken as an actor. But then you look at those films and you place them back to back to back. You see how different they all are, and you see that the common link is Robert Redford.
Marvin, what do we do now?
He made his directorial debut with the family drama Ordinary People in 1980. It garnered him his first Academy Award. Redford stood for many issues, his star power attracting attention to causes which included political activism, the environment, Native American and Indigenous peoples' rights, and LGBTQ rights. In 1981, he created the Sundance Institute, named after his Sundance character, and in 1985, the Sundance Film Festival was born, taking place where he lived in Utah in the middle of winter.
Our job and our role is to create a space and a platform to bring new voices and new ways of seeing the world using independent film.
Redford was married twice and had 4 children and 7 grandchildren. He died in his sleep this morning at home in Utah, surrounded by those he loved. Robert Redford was 89.
And many of Redford's co-stars are speaking out, including Barbara Streisand, who said Redford was charismatic, intelligent, intense, always interesting, and one of the finest actors ever. State is introducing a new program in an effort to help boost the aviation industry. The college is partnering with Lufthansa Technik to offer a new gas turbine technician certificate. Lufthansa will be offering a sponsorship opportunity for at least a third of each class, covering tuition and a guaranteed job placement with the company. The announcement comes just 2 months after Lufthansa Technik broke ground on its new engine maintenance facility at the airport, and as they aim to hire 90% of their staff for the facility from within Alberta.
So by insourcing, or I would probably say onshoring engine maintenance right here into Alberta and into Canada, you create a robuster supply chain, allow the airlines to fly to a lot more destinations than they would usually could fly to because they just have more of that operational robustness. But you will also allow the industry here to benefit from some of the investments and initiatives that we drive, such as ours today.
The one-year program will start in a temporary building, but will move into a permanent space in the future. Classes will start in May of 2026. Checking the Tuesday markets, the TSX closed down 116 points to 29,315. The Dow was off 126 points to 45,758. The Canadian dollar is up slightly to 72.75 cents U.S. Crude oil was up $1.30 a barrel to close at 64.60. And Alberta's Western Canadian Select oil was selling for 52.51 a barrel. Gardeners all over southern Alberta are harvesting this year's vegetable crop, and a group in Airdrie is making the most of it by helping food insecure families in their community. The Airdrie Horticultural Society introduced its Grow to Give program this year. It has 2 community gardens, and this one has 124 plots. Pretty much all the gardeners here are donating a portion or all of their harvest to the Airdrie Food Bank. So far this year, they've given away more than 1,000 kilograms of produce, and that donation is made up of a lot of root vegetables like carrots, potatoes, and beets, but there's also plenty of tomatoes, squash, and zucchini clients of the food bank are receiving.
One of the really big benefits is that it gives people the opportunity to try fresh, healthy food that otherwise maybe they couldn't choose to try. Because if your budget is really limited, you can't afford to buy something you know your kids won't eat, or you're not sure if they'll eat it.
There's still a lot of produce at the community garden, and it will be harvested over the next couple of weeks. The Airdrie Horticultural Society has a 2-year wait list for a plot in its 2 community gardens. It's been a pretty challenging growing season for pumpkin farmers. This patch near Edmonton has seen a dry start to summer and frost later in the season. In eastern Canada, some producers are warning Halloween jack-o'-lanterns could be about 30% smaller than usual. Farmers there blame a hot, dry summer for the smaller yield. She is a force to be reckoned with in the octagon. Now, a Calgary MMA fighter will fight on a big stage. Glenn has her story coming up.
Hammer when you're in full rotation.
It's back-to-back golds for Canada's Ethan Katzberg at the World Championships in Japan. The 23-year-old from Kamloops threw for 84.7 meters, breaking an 18-year record, as well as his own previous Canadian record. His winning mark was almost 2 meters further than his closest competitor. Katzberg's win means Canada continues to dominate hammer throw after Cameron Rogers won her event on Monday.
3-2 pitch, a ground ball towards the second baseman, the throw to first, and the Expos are history.
A new documentary called Who Killed the Montreal Expos is about to be released on Netflix. The Expos called Montreal home for 35 years before moving to Washington. The documentary starts streaming on October 21st. Some great news for UFC fans in our city. Glenn is back with us, and Glenn, one of Calgary's top fighters, has signed on with the UFC.
Ian, Melissa Croton just signed a 4-fight contract with UFC. Her first fight will be next month in Vancouver, and for Croton, it's a dream come true. Even as a kid, Melissa Croton was interested in mixed martial arts. She was never one for team sports, and MMA fit her competitive needs.
When I was young, I started taking Taekwondo with a really good friend of mine, and it was just one of those sports that, for whatever reason, it just resonated with me, and I fell in love with it.
Later on in her adulthood, Melissa trained in Muay Thai, and that led to her fighting career. Her nickname in the octagon is Scare, and Scare Croton has been a force to be reckoned with, but it didn't happen overnight.
It's just weird. If you do something long enough, eventually you're going to get decent at it, as long as you're keeping yourself honest and you're doing the right things for you to continue, you know, expanding on your skill set and expanding on all the things that it takes to become good at something.
The 34-year-old Croton is 6'2" as a professional and is one of Canada's top prospects. She's done so well, she was approached by the UFC and signed a 4-fight contract.
I've sacrificed a lot in my life. It has not been easy, so it means a lot to have this vision come to fruition like it has.
Curtis DeMars is Melissa's coach. He says getting this UFC contract is a big deal.
This is a very special moment for, I think, just the community of Calgary and for Canada alone. So, you know, to have the #1 women's bantamweight woman sign with the UFC in Canada, it's huge.
Croton's first fight in the UFC will be next month in Vancouver as she takes on Teneri Lisboa of Brazil.
Really, really good fighter. I respect her a lot. She's really good striking. She has a pretty solid Muay Thai background, and her grappling looks solid as well. So it's going to be a challenge, and it's a challenge that I am absolutely ready for.
Croton's fight will be on October 18th at Rogers Arena in Vancouver in UFC Fight Night 262.
Best of luck to her.
Yes.
Okay, if you want to get in yet another round of golf or another bike ride, another game of tennis, the weather is certainly suitable for it.
Yes, anything outdoors, really. A nice little walk, even, if you want to keep it tame. A drive in a convertible, or head out on the water. This is from Grand Pond, Glenmore Lake. All right, that's Weather Window, brought to you by Lux Windows and Doors, crafting quality windows and doors for your style, budget, Alberta's climate. Now, how long is this weather going to last? That's the key question I think we have here. And what I can say is that will last all of this week. Fall officially begins on Monday. It will still be 23 degrees by Monday. Tomorrow, though, will be the hottest and the overall brightest of the next 10 days at 26 degrees.
And a fairly nice weekend as well coming up. Okay, thanks very much. Thank you for joining us, and have a great night.